Congratulations! You have just completed the first shape-up mile on your walk for a healthy life.
Thank you, thank you.
How are you feeling?
Like an idiot talking to a tape machine.
Good. Now check your pulse.
My pulse. Where's the remote control? Oh, that's it. Remote control.
Is it within the target rate?
Huh? Yeah, the target range for coronary.
Excellent. Remember, keep your shoulders back, your head high, and your arms pumping. And smile.
He takes such good care of me. Are you married?
Who is it?
Number one son.
Greg.
I can't believe you're here. Oh, I didn't expect to see you again until I went back to the West Coast.
Well, СиСи was doing so well, and I didn't want to break our tradition, you know, cheeseburgers and champagne after your finals. How did the last one go? It was English lit, right?
Don't ask. Emily tried to help me when I was out there, but I studied like a fiend. But whenever I see these essay topics like discuss Chaucer's use of rivalry and the wife of Bath's tale as a device for blah, 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 I go blank. I want to write, hey, I thought it was pretty funny. Isn't that enough?
You didn't write that.
No. I made up some fancy-sounding theory.
You always manage to do well. And you always give me a good critique on my work.
I guess my input could mean something. Old Chaucer's never going to listen to anything I say. Figured having a writer as a mom would be easy for me, but I guess I inherited my dad's genes in the literary department. Are your latest chapters?
Actually, it's some rewrites on the beginning chapters. I brought them for you to read.
Oh, great. Is everything okay, Mom?
Yeah, everything's fine. Listen, do you want me to go ahead and order up your cheeseburgers? I've got the champagne.
Sure, then I can get started on these.
Greg, listen, beforehand, I should say that I've got some things I need to talk to you about, and I was hoping that reading that material would help you to understand.
Isn't this a coincidence?
You were following me.
I wasn't. I swear I
I
wasn't.
don't like this. You're lying. Now, you were following me. What's going on around here?
I'm just interested in you.
Oh.
Mr. Castile, you're hurting my arm.
Come on, let's go.
Where are we going?
I'll let you know when we get there.
We have to go back and get her.
Yeah, I know, but it's not going to be easy.
Cerise is our baby. She's Adriana.
But Hollis has covered her tracks well.
But what if we...
Darling, we can't just go in there and steal the baby back. We have to have some kind of proof or we'll never get across the border.
Hollis just isn't going to give her baby up, not when her entire fortune is dependent upon it.
I know. We're going to have to go to Rick.
What if Rick is in on it?
He's not.
Cruz.
My brother may be a lot of things, but he's not a kid. We confront him with this. He'll help us.
What are we waiting for?
Get her done.
Hey, Dad.
How you doing? You look a little flushed.
I thought the purpose of this contraption was to raise my heart rate and bring color to my cheeks.
You're using it, huh? That's great.
How come I retired from the treadmill and now I'm back on it again?
Oh, it's good for you, especially if you're careful not to overdo it. You have to follow the guidelines and don't engage in anything too strenuous, especially at the beginning. You want to lie down for a minute? Is your heart rate back to normal?
It was a second ago, dear.
Oh, he called me dear.
Look, I'm following doctor's orders. I'm taking everything quite seriously. Believe me.
Good. Now, that's the kind of results you're going to get much faster with that kind of attitude, Dad. Huh. Oh, she has a suggestion here.
Oh, really?
Right. I was thinking that a professional trainer could really help you. Now, the aerobics instructor at the gym that I work at Harley, he said he'd be happy to design a personal program for you. He's helped a lot of heart
Sweetheart,
patients.
I appreciate the
now,
thought.
I know a man that's independent like you might not want to rely on somebody else,
Wanda.
but I can promise you that Harley knows exactly what he's doing.
I'm sure he does,
On your
but
own, you might slack off. You might. And
See,
him...
Harley gives her 2 free classes for every client she brings in. I'm just kidding. No, I think you got the message without you sending him a telegram.
It's all right.
I think.
It's all right, Ted. Don't be so hard on her. Darling, I appreciate your concern. I really do, but I'm fine. I'm fighting my way back, and everything's going to be terrific. Right now, I'm going to take myself upstairs and take a shower. Excuse me?
one's here. Rick may be in the study or upstairs. I'll go take a look. But you hide in case Hollis comes in.
Darling, what if they come in together?
I'll tell him that there's somebody at the door to see him. Listen, we've got to talk to him, and we have to talk to him alone. You stay out of sight. She mustn't see you.
Okay.
Rosa asked me to check with you on the menu for dinner tonight, Mr. Capwell, in case you want to make any changes. On Friday nights, you usually have coquilles Saint-Jacques and asparagus au gratin.
Scratch those dishes off the menu for good. You eat that food, you're going to get enough cholesterol to put you back in the hospital.
Good evening to you.
I hate to be presumptuous, but you have to change your way of eating.
Oh. Would you go back to the kitchen and tell Rose I'll talk to her later about the meal? Thank you. I do appreciate your concern about my food intake, but my doctor's orders are quite clear, and I'm going to work out a whole new menu with Rosa.
I have a better idea.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
How would you like to employ a world-class chef whose expertise is low cholesterol, high fiber, low fat meals?
I already have a capable cook.
But Rupert is an artist.
Rupert! Ah, cute. Ah.
Rupert will teach Rosa new techniques. Now, we all know that Rosa is a wonderful cook, but she's got a lot of habits she has to change. I met Rupert after a lecture he gave at the university, and his presentations are impeccable.
Bean curd and bamboo shoots?
Yeah, maybe, but the way he does it, you would never be able to dream of. Trust me.
Yeah, I suppose I could try it.
Okay? Rupert? Right this way, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. СиСи Capwell.
Pleasure to meet you.
This lovely lady has entreated me to prepare a meal for you, which satisfies the requirements of health as well as happiness.
Oh, I'm grateful and intrigued and certainly hungry, so I'll be glad to try your meal. Would you like to join me for dinner?
You and Megan?
No, Megan's in New Hampshire with her son.
Oh, really? I didn't know she'd left this soon.
Spur of the moment trip.
Uh-huh. Yes, I'd love to join you. And now I think we should take Rupert into the kitchen so he can meet Rosa.
I'm not sure Rosa has a wok.
I carry everything I need in here.
Of course you do. I would have expected that. Here, come right this way.
Gone is the romance that was so divine. 'Tis broken and cannot be mended.
What would you have done tonight if you hadn't met me?
You must go your
Come back to my hotel room and work like I do most of the time.
Even when you're in California?
No, for in California I spent a few hours with my children before they went to bed.
How many do you have?
5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a wife, too?
My wife's dead.
I'm sorry. That's sad. Did you have a happy marriage?
I loved her very much. Something about you that loosens my tongue even more than the brandy.
It's because I love to hear you talk. I could listen to you all night.
You're a funny girl. I'm so glad you smiled at me. You have an adorable smile.
I think I'm falling in love with you.
You hardly knew me 6 hours ago.
I know, but I feel like I've known you my whole life.
Be very careful what you say to me. I'm very vulnerable right now. I could tumble so easily. Fall in love with you. I've been lonely for a long time.
I'm sorry you've been lonely. But I hope you do tumble.
I can't believe this is happening to me. I mean, I wouldn't even have been in that cafe today if I hadn't decided to walk home from that meeting.
See? It was fate.
Fate? Whoa! Are you catching a cold?
No. I've got some tissues in my purse.
Yeah. There's tissues.
Thank you.
Oh. Got your passport picture. Well, you even look good in your passport picture. October 1954. You're 17 years old. My God. 17 years old.
What difference does it make?
Well, what difference? You're only a couple of years older than my youngest child. I could be arrested.
Well, I'll tell him I seduced you.
Oh, I feel like a child molester.
See, it doesn't make any difference. I'm still the same person that you said you could fall in love with just a minute ago. I mean, what difference can 5 years make? Give me a chance. Don't push me away.
Listen to me, my sweet girl. I would love to have you by my side all the time and travel with me and be at those very impersonal hotels when I come home from those interminable meetings. I would love to buy you gifts and I would love to make love to you all the time, but I am not about to do that.
Why not?
Because I wouldn't want any man to do it to one of my daughters at your age. You're supposed to grow up to be a lovely woman. You're going to be. You have to have the space to do that if I took over your life. And I will, I promise you. I'd be robbing you of your girlhood. You're supposed to be going to college and going to fraternity parties and going out for the school plays and dating and I'd make a lousy prom date. Listen to me. The most unselfish, loving thing I could do is to let you go.
What do you think?
It's good. There's a lot of emotion underneath. You get to know the hero, Charles, much better.
Glad. That's what I was hoping to accomplish.
He's СиСи Capwell, isn't he?
Spy, you know that. What are you trying to find out from me? Who put you up to this?
I told you I'm not spying. I'm interested in you.
Oh, you're interested in me, huh? Interested in what? Where I go when I leave the house?
No. Just in you.
Well, I'm interested in you, too. You already know that. So that's something we share in common. What do you think we should do about it?
You don't have to do anything about it.
Well, that doesn't make sense, Beth. It seems to follow that if you are really interested in somebody, you want to know everything there is to know about them.
Don't touch me.
Right. Why don't we drop the act, honey, and get to talking? Well? Come on, what is it? I don't want to have to hurt you.
What are you going to do? Just beat me up or just take me where I want you to or not?
Sit down. You are not leaving this room until you tell me what you and your sister are up to.
Cruz?
Yeah.
They're all gone. Where could Hollis have taken the baby?
Well, she could have taken her anywhere. It's nothing to worry about necessarily.
What if she's found out about us? What if she's found out that we're looking for her ring? She was asking a lot of suspicious questions. What if she's run off with Adriana?
Was there any sign in her room that she left in a hurry?
Hollis is too smart. She wouldn't have left a trail or any clues. Maybe the doctor who removed the birthmark warned her.
No. I put the fear of God in that guy. Let's not panic. You know, if you weren't here, if Hollis had to do anything, she would have had to take the baby with her. So let's just hit the streets and see if we can intercept Rick before she shows up.
Would you like some more pepper chicken? Would you like some more ginger rice?
No, no more. Too full. Rupert has done it. Found his way into my heart through my stomach.
Great! Does that mean you'll allow him to stay and re-educate Rosa?
Well, it depends. Does that mean Rosa has to cook her enchiladas in a wok?
Probably.
Ah. Thank you. For trying to help me. For being my friend.
We're friends. Boy, we're friends, and that's the most important thing. I'm sorry it took a heart attack for us to come to our senses.
A minor heart attack. Minor. Changed my life. What was the name of that play? Our Town. One of the characters says you should appreciate every minute of your life while you're living it. I think I finally got the knack of that, and I'm not going to forget it.
If you do, I'll remind you.
I'm sure you will. How about you? Tell me about yourself. How's your life going?
My real personal life, I guess you'd call it, is probably on hold right now, which is all right with me. It's fine, because it's been important to see you through this crisis. And it's great for me to be with the kids. I'm just real happy to have this family.
To you, a wonderful woman. To the health and happiness of the family that we share together.
Is the girl in the book you, Mom? The niece knew СиСи from before. I mean, a long time ago.
Yes, but he doesn't remember that I'm the same person.
How could he forget? I mean, you had a love affair.
It was only for one night. And we didn't have any contact with each other for almost 20 years. I was just a girl then. I'm a woman now.
This whole thing blows my mind. Are you going to tell СиСи about this before he reads it?
Well, he may not read it. It may never be published. It all depends.
On what?
You.
Why me?
Tell me what you think about what you've read so far.
You mean as a story or as a life? I want to know what happens. How about a preview of coming attractions? Because if there are any more surprises, I'd rather hear them now.
All right. Well, she asks him to stay with her for the rest of that night, and he agrees. And then when she wakes up the next morning, he's gone. And the only thing that's left is a small appointment book that must have fallen out of his briefcase. But she's happy because now she's got a reason to try and contact him again. But she doesn't know where he's staying or what hotel, so she goes to the Paris office of his business. And she finally manages to get to his personal assistant's personal secretary, who takes the notebook and thanks her and offers to pay her for her trouble, but probably the boss never even knew she was there.
Did you give up on him then?
I tried. I went back to classes as usual. I started hanging out with my friends again, but I couldn't stop thinking about him. I went back to that cafe every night, hoping that he'd show up, but he never did. And then I started hanging out in the library and digging around doing research on articles that had been written on him in business magazines. I read the Paris newspapers every morning, hoping that there'd be some mention of his name. That's how, a few weeks later, I found out that he'd finished his business in Paris and he was leaving to go back home.
And so you decided to write a book on him just because of one night?
That one night changed my whole life, Greg.
Why? I know СиСi's a great guy. But then you met my dad and got married and had me, and you started your writing. To me, that all seems much more important.
It all ties together. Anyway, I went to the airport to wait for him. I had this big fantasy in my head that he'd see me across the terminal and he'd rush over to me and take me in his arms, and we'd never have to be apart again.
It didn't happen that way.
No. Oh, he was there, but he was surrounded by reporters and photographers, and he was answering questions and giving last-minute orders, and he never even saw me.
Did you try and get his attention?
No. No, I stood there, a teenage schoolgirl, and I saw for the first time that this man was from a completely different world. I mean, the distance between us was insurmountable in so many ways. His age and his experience and his social standing, his education. I I just knew in that moment that I had nothing to offer him. Even though I was there to tell him that I just found out that I was pregnant with his child.
You're no chambermaid, sweetheart, and you're not an all-American girl out on some adventure either. Now, you've been snooping around my house and spying on me since the day you got there. I want to know why. Who hired you? Are you working for the police?
No.
Well, then who is it? The African connection?
Maybe.
You know, I should have guessed it. I should have known just from the fact that you and your sister got to my door 2 days before the delivery. So what is it, huh? What is it about me? They don't trust me? Do they think I'm going to double-cross them?
Yeah, that's it. And I'm here to make sure you do exactly what you were supposed to do.
What are you going to tell them?
Nothing. As long as you and I can make a deal.
Deal? You like working both ends against the middle, don't you? Well, it's time to go, little girl.
Well, where are we going? You know, you're foolish not to make a deal with me.
Well, it's too late to make deals. Get out of here.
You were pregnant with СиСи Capwell's baby?
Yes.
What did you do, have an abortion?
No, I had the baby. A boy.
What is this? What are you trying, some new plot twist on me to see if it works? Well, it doesn't. I don't like it.
Sweetheart, this isn't fiction. This is what really happened.
Are you saying СиСи Capwell is my father? That's crazy. Joe Hughes is my father. He's a soldier who died in Vietnam before I was born. This is incredible. Oh, you've been lying to me my whole life? What about СиСи? Does he know?
No.
Unbelievable. Well, who's Joe Hughes? Does he even exist?
Yes, he does. He's a friend of our family's, and he did fight in Vietnam, and he died there.
And you just took him over and made up this whole story about him like he was one of the characters in one of your novels. My God.
Greg, I was 17. I was your age. I wanted you to have a father that you could be proud of.
I couldn't be proud of СиСi Capwell?
I thought a dead war hero would be better than a tycoon you'd never see. Greg, I didn't want you to grow up feeling like you'd been abandoned by your father.
How do you know what he would have done? You didn't even tell him about me.
I told you, I
know that he lives in a different world. Maybe if you would have told him, he'd have married you. We'd have been a family. His kids would have been my big brothers and sisters. They are. Why did you just cut him off and try and go at it all on your own?
Because I didn't believe that he'd want to marry me. And I didn't want to be paid off and sent away. Greg, I knew when I saw him in the airport that he had put me out of his mind. And I thought the best thing for me to do was to try to do the same thing. I don't know, maybe I was wrong. We haven't had it so badly, though, have we?
No. Except my father and I are total strangers.
Not anymore.
Oh, that's right. And why did you decide to write a book about him now?
Do you remember last Christmas? We went to Vail skiing together, and you started talking about your father and wondering what he might have been like if he had lived. I couldn't stop thinking about that. And when that offer came for me to write the book, I thought it would be a chance to get the answers to those questions.
Answers for me or for you?
Greg, for you. I had no intention of getting involved with СиСi Capwell again.
So why did you decide to tell me now?
Because after his heart attack, everything changed. I mean, I'd gotten to know the man. I'd come to love him again. And when I thought that he was going to die, I thought what a terrible tragedy it would be if you didn't know who he really was.
When I was a kid, I used to tell my friends that my father was a war hero. I wanted to have a son and name him Joseph after him. Now, what do I do? Call him СиСi?
Greg, I'm so sorry. If I had known what the right thing was to do, I would have done it. But I still don't know. But at least now you know the truth and you can make your own decision. And whatever that is, I mean, if you want to still go to Europe and the two of us travel together this summer, that's fine. You can do that. Or you can come back to Santa Barbara and get to know your father.
Yeah, so to run up to him and say, hey, guess what, Dad?
I'll be there. I'll help you any way I can.
Thanks, but I can't decide anything right now. I don't even know how I feel about this whole thing except confused.
There just wasn't any easy way to tell you.
I have to go out and walk around for a while.
Okay. You want me to come with you?
No. I want to be alone.
I'm here if you need me. Why don't you take this with you?
Yeah, it turned out to be my biography too, right?
Greg, I hope you can understand. And I hope you can forgive me.
Cruz. What are you doing here? We've got to talk.
About what?
Alice? Wait, what is this? You guys know each other?
Yeah, we do.
Greg, I'm your sister-in-law, Iden.
Meet my wife.
Posing as our nanny? Why? Huh? Why have you been lying to me?
It's a long story. Too long to go into.
And who are you?
I'm Kelly, Iden's sister.
Cruz, you got a little explaining to do.
Actually, brother, I think it's your wife who has the explaining to do. Let's go inside.
You'll love this.
Do you think your dad would like a subscription to modern meditation? I've heard that meditation greatly reduces stress. Maybe if we did it with him.
I don't think Dad's gonna go for that.
You know, Ted, СиСи is better, but he's not out of the woods yet. You know, he's gonna need a lot of follow-up.
Well, he's got doctors and therapists who are gonna do it for him. You know, Wanda, I think this is great that you want to help him, but it's like you've been thinking about this constantly.
Doctors and therapists can't take the place of family and friends when a person is sick.
Well, I never said they could. Now, what's going on? You've been acting frantic ever since my dad got sick. I mean, you know, it's as if this really kind of touches on something very deep inside you.
Yeah. Well, when I was little, I used to read magic books all the time. I wanted to believe in magic more than anything. I had an old cat named Bogey, and I used to make wishes on his left ear. I'd wish that I could get to go over to a friend's house, or I'd find money in the street. And one day, both of those wishes came true. My friend Nina invited me for a sleepover, and on the way, I found a $1 bill a block from her house. After that, I was convinced that Bogey was really magic. And you know that I was living with my grandma after my mom left us, because my dad, he didn't want to raise me by himself. So I made a wish on Bogey's ear that something really important would happen that would make her come back and bring us all together again. I was so excited when I went to bed that night because I knew that tomorrow this big event was going to happen. And it did.
What was it?
The next day, my dad had a heart attack.
And you thought you caused it.
I was so scared. I told my grandma what happened, and she explained to me that it wasn't my fault, and I understood that with my head, but in my heart, maybe I would have gotten over it if my dad hadn't died. So when your dad had his heart attack, I guess I just saw it as a way to make up for the past. You know, I could take care of him the way I couldn't do for my dad.
help you?
Wrestling with a lot of different feelings now. I'd do anything in the world to spare you some of them, but I can't. I made a decision about my life when I was your age that had and is having a profound effect on your life. I know it feels as if the ground's caved in underneath you, but I wanted to remind you of some things that haven't changed. When I was 17, my life took on a new direction because I had a focus. You. Raising you, loving you, letting you know you were the most important person in my life. Nothing you've learned tonight or that we've said changes what we've shared. I'm your mom, and I love you. That's a constant, no matter what decision you make.
You're crazy, man. I don't believe this. Now you're trying to accuse me of kidnapping?
I'm not accusing you of anything right now. So just calm down. Let me show you a couple things. This is the ring you designed for Hollis, isn't it?
It looks something like that, yeah.
On April 27th, a woman chartered a plane from San Francisco to Los Angeles, and she boarded a commercial flight from LAX to Paris. She had a French accent, she was carrying a baby, and she was wearing this ring. This is a sketch of the birthmark that was removed from Charisse's arm when she was a week old.
Birthmark? She had no birthmark.
It was obtained from the plastic surgeon who performed the operation. Now, you told me you didn't see your daughter till she was 2 weeks old. I bet she had a bandage on her arm, didn't she?
Yeah. She did. Hollis told me she had a reaction to an injection the doctor gave her.
Our baby had the exact same birthmark on her arm, and we can prove it.
Hollis gave birth to a baby. I know that. So if Charisse is yours, where's ours?
I don't know. You weren't there when she gave birth. Anything could have happened to yours.
I talked to the doctor.
So did we. How many millions did Hollis inherit when she had the baby?
We know you married her for the money.
Hollis loved you so much, you'd do anything to keep her. Including stealing a baby.
You people are incredible. I don't know what you are trying to prove here, but Charisse is my daughter.
Wait a second. I know you have a great financial stake in believing that, and maybe an emotional stake as well. It's time we sat down together and had a long, serious talk with your wife.
Forget it, man.
Rick! Don't misunderstand me, brother. I'm not asking you.
All right. All right, but only to prove you wrong.
Service records show that the only Joseph Hughes from the geographical location that you gave me was a Joseph W. Hughes who died in combat in Vietnam 20 years ago.
20 years ago, but Mr. McGrath, the one I'm looking for, could have only have died 18 years ago.
Well, then, he didn't die in Vietnam.
Then the person you found could not be the father of the 17-year-old son.
No, not likely.
Greg.
No. СиСи.
Hi. How are you?
I'm terrific. Except for missing you. People keep fussing over me, and it's all very nice, but I wish you were here.
Well, it won't be long, I guess.
How's Greg?
He's okay.
How'd his finals go?
Very well. He had his last one today.
Are you crying?
No, I just have a frog in my throat, I guess.
There was something I wanted to tell you before you left, but you were in such a hurry I didn't get it out. Megan?
I'm here, СиСи.
I love you.
This the locksmith, Jimmy. Oh, my God.
Adriana.
What are you looking for? I asked you a question. What the hell kind of scam you got my little girl mixed up in, man?
I'm Bryant Gumbel. Next week, Today Goes West. From the heights of Mount Rainier down to life in L.A. We'll profile the people, the lifestyles, and the beauty of America's West Coast. Next week on Today.
And tonight, Goldie Hawn's a cocktail waitress who's up to her swizzle sticks in hilarious fun as she saves a potentate, becomes a diplomat, falls in love, and starts a revolution in the movie hit Protocol. Then follow your heart to Dream Street, NBC's hot new slice-of-life drama. It's the show to see, says the Washington Post. Tonight,